Oh yes. Just remembered I got demonetized for that last video because of music, so let's not do that this time. Just gonna sit in silence. Yep, here's the traffic. Hola guys, thanks for joining. Last day of OB-GYN. I could actually not be happier about anything else. Where am I heading? To Bed-Stuy. I'm heading to Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. Hello. ¿Cómo estás? What's up? What's up? Having a last day on a Tuesday is quite weird. Usually it's like a Thursday. It's only because of 4th of July. Wait, have you always had that tattoo? I have not. It's brand new. Do they care? No one really sees it. I wear a white coat. So, yeah. I've always wanted one. It was never, like, med school or being a doctor wasn't going to deter me from getting one. It was really the price that deterred me because I was poor. I mean, I still am poor, so. But, yeah, it's Dominica. It's where I'm from. It's kind of a weird angle. I can't really show it. But, yeah. It's kind of like a painting on my arm, and I love it. And when you wear a white coat, no one sees it. I'm from Dominica. It's an island in the Caribbean. That's where Ross University is. So it's just an image of the beach scene from the island. And yeah, I gotta admit, I don't see many doctors with tattoos or sleeve tattoos anyway. Maybe they have them like elsewhere, but yeah, no one sees it. It's all good. It is hot as hell over here. I should probably put on my AirPods, right? The audio would be better. I didn't even think about that till right now. Where are my AirPods? Did I pack them? I packed a school bag with me with my Step Up to CK, my laptop, you know, a snack for later, charger. I'm trying to focus on the road while looking for my AirPods. I'm just feeling around for them. I have no idea where they are. Hopefully the audio is not trash, guys. Sorry about that. Didn't think about that ahead of time. But anyway, last day of OB-GYN. How much did I learn? Let me not be like that. I actually did learn a lot. It's kind of cool it being like two different specialties, low-key, like gynecology and obstetrics. And it's cool that they do like clinical and surgical stuff. Like if you want to do procedures and have continuity of care with your patients, OB-GYN's it, because surgery doesn't really have continuity really. You see a surgeon because you need something cut off, and then they cut it, and then you leave. So if you see a surgeon multiple times, it might be an issue. But yeah, procedures and clinical. Pit stains. It's so hot. It's so gross. Sorry. Okay, we're stopped and it's a red light. I really didn't pack my AirPods. That's gonna suck for tomorrow when I'm studying. Dang. Where would they be? My white coat, maybe? I want to play music so bad, but I also want to monetize this video this time. Last couple videos haven't gotten monetized. But monetization doesn't really matter for my videos because I don't get many views. So like, I monetize a video, I make $1. Whoop-de-doo. You know. But yeah, I hope I'll get back to daily vlogging once I start psychiatry. It's really like, I don't even know what to vlog in OB-GYN because students aren't really involved in the rotation. We don't do much. So whereas other rotations, I could give you guys like a play-by-play of how the day was going, definitely cannot do that in OB-GYN because it's a lot of sitting. It's a lot of sitting and waiting for something to happen. So, yeah, habit's over. You know, at the end of every single rotation, you're ready to move on to the next one. But, anyway, this is not a bashing OB-GYN session. Motorcycles. Motorcycles would be ideal in this rush hour. But isn't it illegal? Don't they have to drive within the lanes? I guess I could keep switching lanes and that's legal. I don't know. It's probably gonna take me an hour to get to Bed-Stuy. And there's nothing I can do about it. Is what I'm dealing with right now. Adios. Bye bye. Thanks for watching. I wonder if this person works in my hospital. Their bumper sticker says Downstate College of Medicine. How long have you been growing your dreads for? 6 years. I'll be a year next week, and they aren't as stiff as yours. At the ends aren't even locked yet. What do I do? My hair had a really hard time locking. My hair is very thin and loosely coiled, I think it's termed. I'm not really down with like the different hair types and whatnot. I don't really know what that means, but I had to do saltwater like treatments with my hair. It was just like a water bottle with water and salt, and I would just spray my hair like all the time just to make it matted, I guess, to make it like really nappy so it would be able to lock, because if I didn't, it would just be curls. But it probably took about a year to lock as well. I want to believe it was faster, but it probably wasn't. And they're all like different lengths. Some of them end in braids because I get bored when I'm at the hospital. So I unlock, delock. How do you I take out the lock and I just braid the end because I'm bored. So a couple of my locks end in braids. And a couple are short. Their own personality. But yeah, I thought these would be an issue too from medicine, but they're not. No one's actually giving me crap about it. But also, I don't keep them untidy. Like I keep a tight retwist pretty much all the time, and I do my hair myself, so it's not really like I gotta go to the salon or something like that, you know? Someone said something. Psychiatry sounds fun. I'm sure have some interesting stories. Yeah, I actually can't wait to start back daily vlogging for psychiatry, because I mean, it's psych, right? It's always interesting, you know? It's a little bit scary for me, to be honest, if I'm gonna be real with you guys. People with schizophrenia kind of sort of freak me out when they talk to you, or when you're interviewing them and they like, oh my god, this one lady, I was talking to her. I haven't done psychiatry, but you meet psych patients along your way, right? You're doing an interview and she just stops talking to you, and she just starts talking to someone in the hallway behind you, and you're like, and she's like looking in the hallway, so you think it's like a ghost or something behind you, and you turn around, there's no one there, and they're talking to that person, and you're like, yo. So psych is a little scary for me, but always super interesting, you know what I mean? What else was I gonna say? The people who confabulate things. I don't know, it's gonna be interesting. But like the most interesting cases will be in the emergency department, but the emergency room is so busy. It's so psych heavy at this hospital. And it's like, I want to be able to study, you know, because psych is my very last rotation of third year. So right after psych is when I start studying for step 2 CK and step 2 CS. So it's like I don't really want to do a heavy rotation. I want to like start you know, accumulating all my sources and start studying for everything, you know, not just the psych shelf. I want to start looking into studying for step 2. So IDK, I want the interesting experience of the emergency room, but I also want to study. So my options are doing consults within the hospital. So I go into the hospital, I work a full shift in the hospital. Whenever a psych consult is called, I go see that psych consult. Or I could work in the clinic, which is a clinic. New patients come in, they have recurrent appointments, and it's just like a doctor's visit or therapy. You guys know what therapy is like. So those are my 2 options, and I'll probably do consults if I can. It's a 6-week rotation, and I believe you have to rotate through the 2 different specialties, 3 different sections. So maybe I can do clinic and consults. It might be a little boring if there's not a lot of consults one day, but also a lot of study time, because I studied a lot in this OB-GYN rotation. It's so much downtime, a lot of downtime, and I got a lot of studying done. Hence why I feel comfortable going to a movie the Tuesday night before my shelf exam, which is on Friday. You know, for other shelves I would never feel this comfortable, but I studied so much. I did UWorld over and over and over again. I did all 4 NBMEs. I did Firecracker. I did online med ed numerous times. I've seen every source so many times. So that's how I prepped. Online med ed was my base because they give you a schedule, which I really appreciate. They give you an 8-week schedule. My rotation 6 weeks. You just adjust as necessary. And from that, I did UWorld. In correlation with UWorld and online med ed, I did Firecracker, which are online note cards. What else did I say? Oh, I occasionally dipped into Step Up for Step 2 CK, because they have a obstetrics and gynecology chapter. Step Up to Medicine does not, but Step Up to CK has those chapters. So went through those, read those chapters twice. Yeah, I honestly don't know what else I could do. I went through all 4 NBME exams, which are, it's torture, because NBMEs are written so, it's not, maybe they're not. I had a question today that was talking about a patient who had amenorrhea for 6 months. So amenorrhea is no menstrual cycle. She doesn't have a period for 6 months. And they considered that patient to be for meeting menopause is 12 months of amenorrhea. So it's like the question frustrates you that you're just like, the question is written wrong. You're like, oh man, just what else did they have? They said a miscarriage happens less than 15 weeks when 20 weeks. In one of the questions they said the what is that procedure? I don't remember what it's called. But it's just, maybe back in the day that's how it was, but nowadays, or on the wards versus the boards, etc., those things are different. It's ridiculous. People are staring at me just talking to myself in my car. It's okay. Surgeon. That's awkward. I wanted to be a surgeon. I did want to be a surgeon. People watched like a couple of very, very, very early vlogs, but since I started rotations, surgery has hit the bottom of my want to do list. Back in the day, like way back in the day, some of my earliest vlogs, I was talking about surgery and really being interested in it. But that's the thing between first, second year of med school and third year med school. Third year, you learn so much because you actually go through the rotation. Their lifestyle sucks. Like, oh my God. I think I'm very comfortable with shift work. Like, I come in at this time, I do my work, and I leave. I like that. Like a clinic, you go to the clinic when it opens, you leave when it closes. Surgery, oh my God. Say your shift, okay, just a random example. Say your shift was supposed to end at 4 p.m. If a surgery starts at 3:30, you are in that for surgery. Oh my God, 3 hours long. No. And also, there's no continuity. I was talking about this earlier. If you see the only reason you have that patient is to cut something out of them and to send them on their way. You know what I mean? Send them back to medicine team or something like that. So there's no continuity, and I didn't like that. I want to see my patients when they come in as sick. I want to treat them, and I want to see them after for follow-up visits. You know, that's my ish. That's why I like internal medicine. I couldn't avoid that. It goes across the entire road. It's not even a pothole. It's like a very abrupt speed bump, but like not actually a speed bump. Like no one slows down for it. You just take it and ruin your car. But internal medicine, working in the hospital as well as a clinic, ideal AF. You know that stereotype about surgeons and how they're like douchebags? I didn't experience that at all. Like the surgeons I rotated with, mostly were very cool. Like there were like bitchy moments if you don't present properly, or if you're forgetting something about the patient, then they snap on you a bit. But I mean, I feel like anybody would snap on you for not knowing the information about your own patient, you know? But, so you can't really be mad at that. I think during surgery, I didn't watch GYN. I'm like, oh, surgery actually was not that bad. You know, but when you're in something, that's all you know. I want you guys to see the highway that I'm about to go on. I feel like you're not even gonna experience or really see what I have to go through here. Sorry, it's the road. I can't help it. Can you guys see all of that? I can't even get off of the on-ramp because it's just so many people. And it's funny because people are like, oh, nobody drives in New York, you know? Why would you bring a car to New York? No one drives. Look at all these people. Clearly people are driving. This is where it starts. The speed limit on this road is 50. I'm not gonna get above 10. I don't even think I'll get above 5. I'm just gonna be like cruising at 2 miles an hour. And I'm on this road for like a couple miles, so it's gonna be a while. I've learned in New York, you shouldn't put on your turning signal. You should just do it. Because putting on your turning signal tells New Yorkers to speed up. They're like, oh, this person wants to change lanes and do it legally? No, I'm not gonna help them. The car next to me is a dentist. I know because it says it on his license plate. Are you gonna be one of those people? Are you guys gonna do that? When you're a doctor, you get the license plate that says MD? I don't know. Yeah, you worked for it, you know, you worked hard for it. You should flaunt it as much as you can, but I don't know if I'd want people knowing that I'm an MD. I feel like they try to crash my car so I could pay for it, you know? I feel like it's a lot of responsibility if people know you're a doctor. You know, like if you're walking around with a white coat, or if people know you're a doctor and something happens in public, they're like, oh, this person's gonna save my life because they're a doctor. And it's like, oh, wow, that person was Indian. I guess that's a thing. I didn't know that. The person with the with the dentist on their license plate is Indian, or he looks Indian from my like glance. Interesting. I didn't know that was a thing. Hola, pick KY picky. Yeah, there he is. There he drives by. Dentist. You know, I kind of thought a dentist would be driving like a Mercedes or something. He's driving a Nissan Altima. Lit. You're not gonna do it on yours? I don't think I'll do it on mine either. But I don't know. I'm saying that now. Things always change. Just like me wanting to be a surgeon. Things change all the time. But yeah. An internal medicine doctor I worked with drove a Maserati. It was like lit. And it's cool because I worked with him in his outpatient clinic, and it was his, you know, it wasn't a hospital run. He was not in a hospital group. He had 2 different locations. He was doing really well for being so young. He was like in his 30s. Had 2 different offices, rotated through the hospital. It was great. Have you used Memorang? I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that. What is it? So what's next in your med journey? I am going to use psychiatry next. Just finished OB-GYN, as you can tell from the title of this, not vlog, live stream, and going to psychiatry next. The only flashcards I use are Firecracker. It's online. They're pre-made, separated into numerous categories, starting off with like separation of step 1, step 2. They summarize schema, but with no cards. They do that, is what I'm talking about. It's no cards and stuff like that. So instead of watching a whole sketchy video again, you could just go through the no cards. So I like that. I use it for step 1, I use it for 2. I didn't use it as much as step 1 as I should have. I regret not using it as much as I should have. So step 2, I'm really using it a lot more. And then within step 2, it breaks down into each rotation you go through. So I'm going through the OB-GYN ones. And then also within that, it breaks it down. It's lovely. It separates into obstetrics and gynecology. And then it's like medicine, surgery. It's different aspects of medicine as a whole and how it relates to OB-GYN. It's pretty good. Do you want to practice in New York? I do. I really do. That's why I came here. A lot of people, like when I moved here in the winter, they're like, what are you doing here? Did it reconnect? Sorry guys, I guess I just drove through like a dead zone. I was saying I really want to practice in New York. That's why I moved here. I applied to do my 3rd year, my clinical rotations in New York, and I got it. This was my first choice. So yeah, I definitely want to practice in New York. And I'm an IMG, as you guys may or may not know. And the stats just came out this morning. The top IMG friendly state in the United States is New York. So that's working in my favor. Where are you at? So you still in New York? Yes, I am. I'll be in New York for quite a while. I plan on doing a lot of my 4th year in New York as well. So when 3rd year is over, I'll stay in New York for step, and I'll continue 4th year here. Has it been hard to maintain relationships in med school? Yes. Yes, indeed. But you gotta make the sacrifice. You gotta find the time. I mean, the person that can't be like, want to come over every single weekend? Like, you know? Have you taken step 2 yet? Nope. I will be taking step 2 approximately October. The thing about step 2 is, just like step 1, you have to apply for a window. Like a window where you can take the exam, and it's up to you to book the exam when you feel comfortable. So I believe I'll feel comfortable around October, maybe early November. I know for sure I want to take it before Thanksgiving. Also in sub-I that I want to do that starts in November. I'm really aiming for October. Reconnecting. Jeez, don't suck. My last psych rotation, my last rotation is psych, and it ends August 17th. So from August 17th, then September, October. Hopefully I will take step 2 and be successful at it. have a really good step 2 score. I've heard from several attendings, it's not necessarily an amazing score, it's an improvement from step 1. You know, it's not necessarily that you get a 270, it's that you've increased. And not just like a small increase, they want to see like a dramatic increase, you know what I mean? Glad you're not the only one. Are you the relationship person? Yeah, relationships are tough. Is it longer than step 1? 8 hours again? Yeah, so step 2 is 2 different things. Step 2 CK and step 2 CS. Step 2 CK is 8 hours, I believe, of a computerized exam, just like step 1. Step 2 CS is actually a 2-day exam. You go first day and the second day, and it's where it's like your standardized patient, so you do view. You write up a note at the end with your differentials and your it's not exactly a plan, but it's how you go about proving your differentials correct. So yeah, so staying step 2, it's not just step 2, it's step 2 CK and step 2 CS, 2 different exams. Do you agree that doctors shouldn't date other doctors? Well, I don't see why not. Why not? Why should they not date other doctors? You know, is that your opinion? Doctors shouldn't date doctors? You mean like in the same hospital? Then yeah. I mean, I don't know, actually. I don't know if I've ever thought about it. I guess all the doctors I know whose significant others or wives or husbands are doctors, they don't practice in the same hospital. So I answered, yeah, no problem, because everybody I thought of has a spouse who's a doctor, but in another hospital. He's a pediatrician and his wife is also a pediatrician, work in the same hospital, but they don't work in the same clinic. They said they could never work together. And I don't think that's a hospital thing. I think that's a personal thing. Like, they couldn't do it personality-wise, work together. I don't know how I just went off on that tangent. I don't know. I feel like it could be an issue if 2 doctors dated each other in the hospital. Yeah, especially if they broke up. I don't think the issue is if they're dating. I think the issue is if they broke up and it was like a nasty breakup, you know? Then it's just a lot of drama. What if they're not talking to each other? What if one's a radiologist and one's like any other specialty, and they need the radiologist to read a scan real quick, but then they can't call the radiologist because they just had a nasty breakup? Oh my god. Can you just feel the drama? I should write for Grey's Anatomy. I should like submit that. Oh my gosh. Do you guys have a doctor car in mind? Like when you start making a doctor salary, what car you'd buy? I think mine's gonna be a Range Rover. I really like them, but not the super big one, like the really, really compact one, like small and white. Yeah, that would be mine. This will be posted. I missed your answer. Oh, that's okay. It will be posted, but my answer was like all over the place. At first I said yes, and then I was like, oh no, I don't think the problem's if they date. I think the problem's if they break up, you know? Yep. I just had a brain fart because I forgot where I was going. Anyway, guys, it's been 30 minutes. This has been good. This has been fun. I'll see you guys next time I go live. Probably buy a Toyota. Be humble. Yeah, the dentist was driving a Nissan Altima, man. I currently drive a Toyota. I can step up from that, I think, hopefully. Bye, guys.